LibDonut. What do you think about the explosive reload thing, just making the bullet casing explode? It would make the SMG weirdly good. Also make this thing pretty good. I could make it so they're like mini grenades that don't hurt you, you know? Doesn't do much with the knife, huh? So I originally thought that it would like just explode when you trigger the reload. You can see it like an AoE thing in the Survivor's like. Yeah. My original thought was like, as you reload, it explodes around you. Which would just give you like a weird little melee weapon. But I kind of like the idea of it making the ammo like explode. Do like a little explosion that doesn't hurt you. I think that's fun. I'm going to do it. I'm going to add a component that says explode on Cull. I'll make it store a collision. But I don't want the collision to actually be on the particle or on the thing that explodes on Cull, so I'll just store the collision temporarily within it, which won't get iterated over in the collision system. Oh, sorry. I'm pretty sure it's a collision that has like mask and layer and stuff, right? Yeah. Because I think I technically also need this to trigger on kill effects as well. So I'll need to have collision and it will need to have source. Firing entity. How are you doing? I'm quite tired, but I thought I should stop having coffee late. Still thinking of a name. What game am I developing? Have a look in the description. I'm currently making it so if you reload with a particular upgrade, the bullet casing that hits the floor will explode after a short period of time. Identity transform here. Probably not, right? It's a joke, don't mind. Oh. Okay. Hello. You're getting distracted by me, or is it fun to chat? You can chat, I'll just ignore you if I need to focus, if that's alright. Alphonse. You fixed the VMA create image error you get. Oh, nice. You have a new build if you want to try it. Not now. Maybe another time. Hello, Harold. How am I doing? I'm alright. I'm a little tired, but otherwise I'm alright. I'm just testing out something which may not be terribly smart, but I think it'll be funny to see how it looks. A little concerned about it. Oh. Hope you're all doing well. Oh, did I not? It doesn't seem to be spawning explosions, does it? Oh, that's only for if it's during reload, I guess. Hang on, so it'll work for the revolver, I guess. These will explode. That's funny, dude. Just run around shooting one bullet with the revolver over and over to create a bunch of balloons-ass explosions. They should technically trigger on-kill effects as well. So if we give ourselves ammo one frag, and we kill something with one of these, I should see my ammo count go back to 6. Is it not doing damage? Oh, it's definitely doing damage. Just not much. Right, let me make a level with lots of enemies. Give myself explosive reload. 4, 5. And then just reload here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just leave. Oh, I need to give myself ammo on kill. That's this one. Yeah, it does trigger the on-kill effect. Isn't that sick? If I give myself Vampire, for example, give myself loads of health, hurt myself with a rocket launcher, obviously, I take damage to the rocket launcher, very good. If I kill something with a rocket launcher, I need to go somewhere where there's no enemies. Stop leveling up. I get health back normally, of course. But if I, chuck this on this guy... Yeah, you see your health going back up. Dude, that's awesome. This is exactly what I wanted. Does it do damage when the enemies explode close to you? The explosions do damage to you in general. I haven't changed that. I could leave that in place. You could take a bunch of damage to your own explosions. I don't know if that would get annoying or not. It's actually kind of annoying because if you have reload on kill, your gun will reload automatically and then you won't be able to manually reload anymore. Kind of sick. I could give them a little velocity, I guess. Yeah, but it's only on reload. It's not going to be while shooting. I might change it to explosive casings. Because this just doesn't work on some weapons. I think that's fun. IMO. And the explosion damage could just do the same amount of damage as the gun, you know? So like a... sniper rifle explosion could do the same damage as a sniper rifle. Have you seen this, by the way? If you have the reload on kill thing, then you can just shoot the sniper rifle like infinitely. It's really cool. As long as you're killing something with each hit. That, I think, is really fun. The power-up that makes you do more damage when you're low HP. Yeah, I do tend to like those, like, risk-reward things. Depends how you balance it with including your max health and stuff. The casings aren't completely random, by the way. They shoot backwards from you. Didn't you play a similar game back in the day? Nuclear Throne? Yes, yes. Where do you think I got my inspiration from? I think it's really cool that, like, you can see the effects on the weapon. So I just shoot normally, it looks like this, but if you have incendiary bullets, they look like this. Isn't that cool? I think it's neat. And they'll, I don't think they leave fire behind, like the flamethrower. They just deal heat damage to enemies. I guess I could make them do that. It's kind of polished though. That's fun. I give that explosion like a little velocity. Don't know. Does this explosion have anything on it? No. Sure. Alright, so the damage they do now should be that, although I'll need to obviously make use of that when I do spawn explosion. Damage should be passed in, probably. Maybe explosion damage can just be the bullet damage. I don't know. What am I doing? Oh, velocity. Oh, you're just angry about that. Oh. Just a function. Okay. I've used Vim in the past. I don't like it. They're a little different. All right. That should do it. Are you a NeoVim guy? Nope. I finally put up some more pictures on my wall. Not that my wall isn't already covered in pictures, but we got some more of those like postcard-sized frames from IKEA. I'm missing a black one there, so I need to get another one. It's nice. My room is. I mean, my room was already quite busy back here, but in front of the where I look, it was actually a little empty. Now I've been covering the wall in like prints and stuff. Go on. Okay, the velocity didn't do anything, but that's fine. I should make it tick. Like, look like it's about to go off or something, like a bomb. Flash. Let me think. Oh, that also means that the flamethrower reload canister will explode like you'd think it would. Interesting. It also means the SMG is like terrifying now. I have a feeling that they shouldn't hurt you necessarily. It does mean that like a decent form of defense is to sit here against a wall just shooting. And maybe I'll scale the damage based on how many of them you have. Oh, maybe they don't hurt you. Because it uses the bullets hitbox. Hang on. It uses the bullets collision. So actually I think these already don't hurt you. Yeah. Oh, they do. Interesting. That's weird. I seem to have found a bug. What? I've somehow died yet not. That's a new one. Does that only happen if you kill yourself with explosive bullets? Yes, if you kill yourself with explosive bullets, it somehow causes this weird ghost state. Where you can still, like, pick up stuff, but you can't press tab and you can't click. That's interesting. Why is that? There's a creepypasta, yeah. Is this somehow not getting called? No. Because you're definitely taking damage, that's why you're being killed. This is really weird. Is the entity somehow no longer valid? But it's just not been cleared up properly? Let me try a few things. So we'll do it in here. Because this is where the player stuff happens, actually. Every copy of WoHo is personalized. Yeah, dude. What are you used for? Oh. That makes sense. Well, it's not an enemy. It should come to here. So it should be getting destroyed. Am I already destroying it? Maybe it's this stuff. Like, I get that the player entity has become null, and that's why a lot of this stuff isn't working. I don't get why destroy entity was failing. This is weird. If I... Oh, wait, am I stupid? Did I comment this out? Hang on, did I just comment out this? Why was this commented out? No, it's not. Why are you commented out? That's odd. I guess it's meant to be handled by everything else. Really, this stuff should... Oh wait, hang on, this excludes the player. This is odd. Oh. The game over state is not being started. That's the problem. This, of course, fixes that. There's no freeze frame happening. Oh, I know why I commented this out. It's so you can see them while you are... I'll leave that as a comment, because that's actually a valuable comment. The freeze frame is just not being kicked off for some reason. That's a weird way to have to handle this, isn't it? Hey, Brett. It's going good, thank you. I'm a little tired, but it's good. Hey, Monus, thank you. Is it possible the player entity wasn't becoming null? Okay, I'm gonna refactor this a little bit. You're replacing me. There's no other streamers out there. There's only me. You had an advanced calculus test today, and you studied for the entire weekend and still bombed it. You think you were meant to study for longer than one weekend? Nah, just kidding. That sucks, dude. Sorry to hear that. Interesting little bug we found. You seem to have fixed it now, though. Have I? No, I haven't. So the player entity never becomes null. I need to check if the player has no health sooner. Maybe I do just need to destroy the player. You always did all the homework, the 2 days were just studying. Did you get good sleep? Did you have a good diet? Did you, were you rested for the test, basically? That's fair. You study off the test when you get it back. Couldn't sleep last night because you were stressed, that's probably it. Sleep's like the #1 important thing. I know. Your brain can do some weird shit when it's low on sleep, but it can also do some really good shit when it's high on sleep, you get me, bud? Don't respond to the trolls. Player is not dead, apparently. Interesting. The explosion spawned. It's spawn explosion. The might be invalidating iterators. It's possible. Well, this is immediately a bad place. Yeah. There's one bad spot. You might be okay. You're okay. You're not. You're fine. Yeah, it's definitely, even if it's not related to the bug, it's definitely related. I'm not sure how I feel about this. You had a question. You're starting to learn to code. Like, what's going with the pen and paper method? What would you recommend? Should you take notes or keep solving codes in the IDE? Use sites like W3 Schools. I don't know how good of a teacher W3 Schools is. I'll be honest. If you have a local library, it's possible they'd have a programming book you could work your way through that might give you a more, well, a better education. But if it's working for you, then maybe it's okay for now. There's a lot to remember. How do you remember all that? When you, yeah, this is not correct way to do this. I'll need to replace this with an actual console command to spawn an explosion. So I was just thinking about something. It's a lot to learn, and how do you remember all of it? It's just time. It's any skill. You get better the more you do it. Repeat, and learn, and sleep, and come back, and you'll eventually learn. It just takes a while. Just, if you forget something, then do it again. And do it again, and do it again. Yeah, I know. It's the same as learning like a language, right? If you want to learn French or German or Italian, you don't just read it once and memorize it. You got to come back and remember. And if you forget something, you just look it up, and eventually you stop looking it up. Do I already have a spawn explosion? I don't think so. I think I had this explosion metadata somewhere, didn't I? This I can now reuse, I think. This explosion metadata class, struct, whatever. And this delayed thing, I can make that my, this thing. Because that should be all I need to spawn an explosion. Did you use temporary vector? Yeah, sure. But I mean, I'm just going to do this. This will do. This will do. Just wait and see. Trust the process. Might cause them all to be delayed by 1 tick. Yep. And life moves on. Isn't it lovely? It'll be alright. It'll be okay. If we need to refactor, we can refactor. Life will be okay. Just think about that monkey driving that golf cart. Things aren't so bad. You made an Etch-a-Sketch in JavaScript. Nice. That does sound cool. I've heard about that actually. The making an Etch-a-Sketch. as like a project. That's really cool. Did you enjoy yourself? JS is a quirky language. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? I don't know why I've got direction and velocity like this. It seems kind of weird. I should check this. Maybe velocity should just be a float. I'll check that in a moment. Hey Wesley, how are you? Mean speed is velocity. That's not right. No wonder they look weird. This is only used for the particle. It should be particle speed, particle direction. Speed is even a bit of a misnomer. You could interview, only problem is they want you to be a software tester. What's wrong with being a software tester? If you know how to test, then you probably know how to write good code. Oh, you don't have context variables. I don't think explosions spawning in the next update is really going to cause me that much of a headache. This is something I think is okay to delay. What? Why are you length? We've got CMake lists here. I'm pretty sure we're using Ninja. And I'm building via MSVC right now. So we're just using CMake. It seems boring, you want to develop stuff, not test it. I'll be honest, Wesley, in the current job market, if you can get a job, then you're doing better than a lot of people. It might not be your perfect job. You could always just accept the job and then look for a new job as a full-time software engineer. It's always easier to find a job when you're already hired. So, you know, it's better to have a few months of experience or a few years of experience as a tester than to just sit around saying, I want to do something else. Alright, let's get this working first, Donut, and I'll have a look at a better solution. How about that? Maybe system itself could just have delay until end of tick. I'm pretty sure I even have a function called end of tick. So maybe we could just move it there. How about that? It might be fine. Well, we'll have a look at it regardless. I just need to work on one thing at a time. Context switching is not my forte. You prefer make to CMake? I hate all build systems. I think they're all clunky. I've never had a build system I'm 100% happy with, and I don't know how I'd write one myself. They're such, like, generic tools, it's so hard to have something that you like. If that makes sense. I'll have a look. Just hold your bloody horses. Do I have a lifespan? Yeah. Yeah. Good music. Thanks. It's a 1 hour and 17-minute long video with 2,000 views by New York Chirino that says Toho Metal / Rock Mountain of Faith Autumn emoji. The current song we're listening to is 1 hour and 3 minutes in. It is Sunny Rain by the Circle Anare from Weather Break, the album. Something happened now. Oh, Tech is covering everything right now. Why do I use the auto keyword so much? Ah. Almost always const auto, which I agree is a dogma, but I like it. Plus I'm using a IDE, scare quotes IDE, where I can just hover over it and it'll tell me what the type revolves to anyway. It's one of the few quality of life things C++ has, but it's also... Swift and Kotlin have it? No, you don't tend to use... Did they even have auto? Oh, I guess you have let blah 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 is blah blah blah. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I like auto. Don't take auto away from me, please. It's like the one thing I fucking like in this language. Just kidding. It all sucks. Let's see. Explodes. Wowzers. Second bullet. You saw that thing being shot the wrong way. That bug still exists. Tell me, Donut, can you see the thing being sent the wrong tick? Because I can't. But we'll have a look at it in a second. We'll see. Can you give you advice now to be a good software tester? These bullets aren't colliding with anything. There's something about my code needing testing, maybe. Can I give you advice? Well, no. I like BDD a lot. I like stuff like Cucumber. All of those testing languages that are like designed to be read by a human. Those are really fun. Did you make audio processor? Audio can be played, I've just not got any sound effects. That interacts with other systems. The explosions I don't think will be a big deal. That's okay in this case. BDD is awesome, yeah. Behavioral driven development. And, you know, considering the AI trends are always changing, blah, 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 it seems that right now the hotness is spec-driven dev. And I think BDD has a big part to play there. Misuse and abuse it? I think you can misuse and abuse it. Just chill. Why are my bullets not colliding with walls anyway? I think I fucked up a bracket somewhere. Well, this is obviously new. Where did you lose your curly brace? Here. No, wait. 1, 2, 1, 2. I have a feeling it's one of these things. This is where the rocket stuff should end. Pretty sure. Previously, we were... Yeah, I'm fairly certain this is how this should be. Yeah. Audio processing application. Oh, I've just got so loud. Which I haven't really poked in a while, but we had sounds playing in the original version of this game like 6 years ago. Where is it? This. It's not been updated since 2021. There's probably a newer version by now. Be careful about letting matched curly braces formats save because the format can break stuff even if you fix it afterwards. That's new to me. How so? If I can recommend music, it's artist modest by default. Oh, thank you. I have to be careful about what I play on stream because sometimes it will mute the VOD. I don't really care about them getting, like, advertising revenue because it's like 10 cents. they can have that. That's fine. But it's when they mute the VOD for like either the whole VOD or they'll mute like an hour or, you know, some time. Are any of the tech stacks you're using for the game have a paid setup? It's a non-billable. Why would any of this be billable? I guess if I ever had like a server setup, I'd probably use something like AWS and that would have some costs, but there's no server setup right now. Inevitably, you know, I should use concrete terms. I'll put this on Steam one day, and there'll be a leaderboard of some sense and a daily of some sense. That stuff will need to be tracked, so I'll need to pay for a AWS bucket or something, but that's a distant future. Portugal x Spain. You're watching it right now, aren't you? You must learn BDD and Cucumber. No, you don't need to learn anything. Learn what your job asks you to learn. That's the #1 priority. Do you think learning CPP is worth it because you see a lot of people recommending Rust? Yes. Yes, I think CPP is worth learning. If you find it interesting, like, you're your own person. You can do whatever you want. You can, like, run a bakery. You can be a dog walker. You can be a nursery teacher. You can learn Rust or C++. It doesn't really matter. As long as you're enjoying yourself or it pays the bills or you just want to fuck around. Whatever. Make your own decisions. Including asking me. Like, I don't have the answers any more than anyone else, but I'd suggest the #1 important thing is to have a job that pays the bills, and then it's to have a job that you enjoy, and then it's maybe to have a job with a future, and you can swap those last two around if you want. You become a game dev if you don't care about the future, or you become a web developer if you care about the now, and yeah, some people really like web, but come on, everyone wants to be a game dev, right? Right? Everyone? Right? Everyone? Nah. I'm gonna go refill my water. I'll be right back. Watch the main menu. At work, you're using Go, C#, Python, Java. Oh yeah, you can just do whatever. I was not a C++ developer at work until like a year and a half ago. You can always just learn another language. Anti-gravity is better than VS Code. They're fucking coding with anti-gravity now. Someone's got to fucking stop Anthropic, dude. That's crazy. I don't know that much about other IDEs or code editors. I know Notepad++, I know VS Code, I know VS Full Fat, I know Xcode and Android Studio and IntelliJ and NetBeans and Eclipse. That's about it. I'm trying to think what other IDEs I've used. You know, the PyCharm. What was the other one Python ships with? I forget. Another Monty Python reference. I forget what it's called. Sea Lion. I haven't used Sea Lion, but it does exist. Sea Lion only became available for free like a year ago. At a Goomba. Right now? Alright. Anti-gravity is Google's VS Code fork. I'd rather use the main branch than a fork. Like Google's fork of a Microsoft tool. Two people have asked about the editor today. Yeah, it's odd. How do I set up my VS Code? These plugins. I don't know what this is. You can get out of here probably. I think you've pre-installed yourself, haven't you? You're on 8 million fucking desktops. But really you want C++, C++ extension pack to make tools is a big one. You just need these two, I think. I like GitGraph a lot. There used to be a paid plugin that did stuff like this, but this is free and is obviously quite popular. I don't know what a lot of this shit is. I don't need a lot of this. This is useful for being lazy. You can also do your include guard with some rules. C++, C make tools and the ClangD extensions get you far. Yeah, you don't need much more than that. Other than that, it's mostly preference. I don't know what code blocks is. I've heard of it. Code blocks. It's not purple. I recognize this website or the logo. Yeah, this is like a Windows XP tool, isn't it? No, I like the look of this. You could get some proper forms done with this. I like it. Do you use C++ because of the performance boost? Yeah. It's fun. I use it at work. It's a cool language. It's very good for game development. And I'm not using an engine because I want to make the engine because it's fun. And I like having control. Because like if you're using an engine, it does speed things up. So don't take it the wrong way, but you can either spend half your workday googling through engine documentation, how do I do XYZ in Godot, GameMaker, Unity, or you could spend that time writing that tool yourself. Obviously, you can just do that with an engine, but usually you want to make use of the tools available, right? And then obviously they speed up a lot of things, and you can trust them in a lot of ways. But then also when there's a bug in your engine, that sucks, because then you can't do anything. You can't do anything about it. Like I had a bug in Unreal when I was working on my dissertation. I had to fork Unreal Engine and recompile it. An awful experience. Whereas if it's your own engine, oh, looks like I just fucked up a curly brace. I just move it, compile, it's fixed. So I like that a lot. My long form videos have nothing to do with coding. Oh, sorry, buddy. I mean, I've been making videos for like, I don't know, 13 years or something. There are like hundreds of hours, thousands of hours of content. I think I've streamed like 10,000 hours on Twitch or something. It's a scary thought, if not more. I don't know. The long form videos at this point will just be old TF2 videos. The ban weapons video was 8 years ago. The scary thing is, I remembered being like an adult when I made these. What am I now? That's a scary thought. Oh, hard rock / heavy metal. How heavy is Iosis Minami gonna get though? Do you make it reusable or is it entrenched into your game? The game is the engine. There is no game yet. It's just the engine. The engine is very much everything. Do I have any guide for beyond basic CPP? I'd recommend reading the documentation on CPP reference. That's a really easy one. Let's see if I fixed my problem. I think I did, right? Reading books is useful, but it's not up everyone's alley. Of course. Okay, this did not fix the problem. I've been working on this since 2020. That's not worked. Let me think. So it seems to me that the freeze frame... The player never actually got killed. You know what, we might just make life easy. But the thing is, I want... When you die as a player, I want to actually keep the player alive. So you can see they're frozen, like, while the game's frozen for a second. And that's causing problems. Obviously, I could just spawn, like, a sprite on the screen. I might simplify some things. Have a read in the description scripts. Making a Minecraft clone with OpenGL. I've always wanted to do that, to be perfectly honest. I've talked about it a lot. Minecraft clones seem like a lot of fun. Gold Source was just the Half-Life engine. Oh yeah. It's a bit more like that, I guess. This would be the Woho engine, I guess. Hasn't really got a name, but there's a lot in place. There's no gravity or anything though, so if you wanted to make like a platform, you'd have to make that yourself, I guess. Looking awesome, thank you. Yeah, I keep meaning to, like, one day, maybe even when I finish this, maybe that could be my goal. I could finish Woho, ship it, and then make like a Minecraft clone just to experiment with OpenGL. Because I love those videos. I've watched so many of them from people making Minecraft, and some people doing it properly, and some people doing it not so properly. I feel like I'd really enjoy it. Be a good opportunity to learn 3D and some of the shit that Donut's done in his library. Anyway, I'm getting off track. I've somehow spent... Oh, it's only an hour and 20, actually. I wanted to see why this isn't working. Yeah, I thought this would work. On update, we're in... I guess we're not in gameplay. I mean, it's not equal to null with play systems. I guess the player entity is becoming null. Well, I mean, we can just do that. A little messy, but man. Depends how, like, some people react differently to overwhelming things. Sometimes people use it as a good opportunity to, like, pick that stuff up, and some people just give up. It depends on the person, I suppose. I've been a bit of both. I've definitely overwhelmed myself and given up on things, but I've also sent myself in on the deep end on some things and just kept at it. Yeah, that works. Like, I moved to the Netherlands without speaking Dutch or having a job. I just had other reasons to want to move, and I was like, you know, going at the deep end, I'm sure it'll work out. I just, you know, need to be intelligent about it. Couldn't be too hard, right? And yeah, you settled in just fine. And then there's certain things where I've taken like a more slow approach. Like, this game project has been going on for a very long time, and I understood when I was new that I would probably get overwhelmed with the APIs. And even if I didn't get overwhelmed with the OpenGL stuff, I think I just didn't... This was when I was full-time streaming, right? I didn't just want to stream throughout all of COVID, myself reading the docs. I thought that would be really fucking boring. So my content-addled brain was like, we can use Donut's library, and then I'll work on the game. I think I probably could have worked it out. I was just a lot worse at C. I'm not that I'm that much better at it. I guess I am better at C+ now, but, you know. Maybe I would have struggled a bit. Maybe I would have learned faster, I don't know. Am I using an auto formatter? Yeah, just Clang D, Clang format. You know, usual. You can share your 2 attempts on Discord. Go for it. I don't know if anyone's going to be willing to compile your binaries, though. Did you have any screenshots of that? Most people like that. You think the majority of people are getting into the game development, all the technical things are overwhelming. Yeah, but, like, I for one, I always tell people this, to an extent. When you're new to something, you won't know most of the things, so you just got to start. And as you do the new thing, you will learn bit by bit what you're missing. And then you'll learn that knowledge, and then eventually the puzzle starts to complete. You know? When you start learning Japanese, you don't know anything, but then you're like, you pick up a textbook and it says, well, we recommend that you know katakana and hiragana. You're like, what's Hataka and Hiragana? You Google it. Oh, it's like some simplified characters you can use to type phonetic Japanese. Okay, that's interesting. How can I learn that? You learn that it's like 25 characters with some basic rules. It could take a week or two. You learn it. You're slowly dipping your head in the pool. You gotta put your feet in the water. It won't learn itself. You don't want to getting overwhelmed and quit. You don't want to start on kanji and start memorizing 2,000 characters without really understanding if you care. That's too much. And is making a Minecraft clone in OpenGL with no experience learning kanji, or is it learning katakana? I don't know. Depends on the person, I guess. I don't consider myself a very good mathematician, so either would have been a very frustrating experience or a very good learning experience, and maybe I would have gotten better at maths with doing it. Oh, this is a good Oasis song. I don't know. It's why I don't really like tutorials, because then you don't struggle. You're just following instructions. But then again, you are getting familiar with typing and like terminology, so maybe it's valuable for some things, but I think you got to struggle with like an empty project. What is main? What am I doing in here? Figuring out, oh, this needs to be in a while loop. That's like a fun little realization. Games are just a big while loop, usually. Which I think you're not allowed to do in Rust, right? I don't remember. But you're meant to, or at least with Google's C++ guidelines, they always say to have like a determinate time. So I guess you could have a max frames for your game, max updates, and just for loop over that. That'd be funny. Struggle with an empty project. That's good advice. Well, ideally type something. Don't just stare at the screen, but... I had a particularly silly interview, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. I'd had a job already. I had my degree. I'd considered myself an alright, if not new programmer. But when you're young, you don't think, oh, I'm new. You think, ah, I'm the best. I was doing the interview, and they were like, can you describe the main function? And I was like, no, I never look at it. Because, when you're in uni, you write out the assignment. You don't think about main that much. And when you're working a job, you have one main, and you usually never touch it, or you very rarely touch it. So in the interview, I was kind of stumped about it. I had to like talk to it with the interviewer and be like, well, I know you can pass stuff in on the command line, but I don't know how it works. And they were explaining it, and I felt kind of silly because like at that point I had a few years of experience and I didn't know something really basic. So sometimes it's nice to learn on new projects and Google the thing you're not sure about. Like why does main look like that? Java as well. I think this was a Java interview, by the way, not C++, but it's very similar. Why does it look like this? Why is it a char pointer and it's being passed in with the array syntax? Why is this an int? Why does it return an int? You need to return, like, what happened? There's good stuff to ask. Start with something simple so it's not too daunting, Main is the launching point of the application, that's true. But I'm just giving an example of how it's useful to struggle. And as you're struggling, you research why. You don't just accept things the way they are. You should always ask questions. To an extent. If you ask questions about literally everything, you might get stuck in the weeds. So you gotta, What happens before main? There's like a secret main, isn't there, that like sets shit up for you. That's the extent that I remember about it. There's like the entry point for your program is actually like, I don't know what it's called. But there's something like before it. Yeah. There's like a secret little, we're gonna set shit up for you. Which I think you can opt out of. Right? I remember watching someone make the smallest program possible in C++, or like as small as they could make it, and there was quite a lot of fiddling you can do. After main, well, I'd say it's just when your program gets torn down, but yeah, I don't know the the extent of what happens after main, because at that point the program stopped. In embedded, you may opt out of it. Oh yeah, I mean, we literally point to main. Like, the memory... We hard code where main is. The pointer. That's written in the... What the fuck's that file called? I can't remember. I don't care. I'm tired. The like config file basically for the firmware. Why don't you make your own language? Can't be asked. I kind of did. In the original version of this project, we at least wrote our own like file format. I had like levels and enemies spawning in waves and stuff, and I had all of that written in a custom format. It was way over the top. I thought JavaScript was too heavy because I was stupid. Good experience though. Got to fuck around with like open and closed braces and new lines and all of that fun. It was pretty good in the end. I was just a bit over the top about it. I've learned since that like all of Facebook's data is in this horribly uncompressed JSON format, or at least was. They don't really care as long as it's like readable and passable. And I was thinking, nah, I'm not going to have any human readable tags. Everything's going to be numbers and commas, the minimum amount of space. Massive waste of opportunity. Anyway, I'm getting distracted again. I think I've solved the problem. Let's move on to something else. Should we finally get the right click working with your revolver? Right now when you hit the revolver, you can either shoot it, or you can press right click and it just does this weird flash. This is meant to be the alt fire, but I've not programmed it yet. There's a lot of guns, most of the guns don't have alt fire. I think it's basically just the dagger and the sniper rifle. Sniper rifle you can zoom. You know, how exciting with right click. And the knife, actually, you left click, you do a stab, you right click, you do like this big slash. Which is quite strong. The revolver's meant to have its own alt click. Also, I noticed something funny the other day. If you have God mode on, and you hit yourself with a rocket, with a reload on kill, your rocket refunds because technically you are killing the player character for like a frame. Or at least you're setting their health so low they would be marked for death. So technically you can infinitely tunnel if you have God mode on, so you don't take damage, or you don't die. Because you refund ammo and shot. I just thought that was funny. Has no impact on gameplay as far as I care. And if it does, then I think that's funny. If you somehow have God mode for some reason. The console command. Static initialization, which happens before main program structures. Yeah. I think all this stuff I've read up about, and it goes one in and out one ear until I need it. Because it matters when we're doing like either very niche bugs, or sometimes we're doing optimization and we need to define how much space in memory is going to be taken up by certain things. Even then, yeah. Oh yeah, strong spirit. Yeah, strong spirit does exist. Whatever. You'd be surprised at how little you need to remember. It matters when you have non-COD express statics at namespace class scope. Sure. It's 11 o'clock. It's too late to be thinking about work, donut. Please stop. Let's get the right click working on the revolver. My plans for right clicks was to make it more of like a component that's attached to the weapon. So it's not necessarily that the sniper rifle has a scope or the knife has the knife might be special, but the like revolver's right click where it shoots everything at once. It may not be special to the revolver, it might just be like a component that gets attached. So any weapon with this and the hammer upgrade or whatever will shoot everything on right click. But for now I'm just going to pretend it's just the revolver. Simplify things. Because I could also change my mind. Might be the case you get a revolver with a scope on it, which is always funny. Anyway, ult fire is currently only being calculated for the dagger. I think we're ignoring it on the sniper rifle mostly. I'm going to just copy this verbatim and then cut it down. So if we are the revolver, I don't need any of this. Well, I might. Nah, I don't. Don't need any of this. Ult fire trigger count. Alright, this is the important bit. How do I want this to work? So, normally, fan the hammer, like I'm using Overwatch as an example, like McCree's revolver. The revolver is normally like a very accurate single shot weapon, but if you right click, you... How realistic is fan the hammer, by the way? Is it a thing that people actually did? I mean, it's a very video gamey, but you can like, the hammer on the back of the revolver you can quickly spam. Does it constantly reload and twist the chamber in the revolver? Like every time you do it? Because normally you click and then pull back, and then click and then pull back, I think. Which I'm guessing rotates it and moves it in. It's real or not very useful. It just looks cool in like westerns, right? The video game version is usually like, you spam it 6 times, and lets you shoot 6 times, but it's like, either the aim goes up, or it goes like kind of random, because I guess you're not holding it with both hands. So in this case, I guess I'd make it so... I need to somehow... Fistful of frags, anyone? Hence the whiskey. I need to think about... You know, I used to have a friend on Steam called Conky, who ran a bunch of the Fistful of Frags servers. He used to brag about how much money he made from... Opinion Pot of Gold or something, like one of the adverts you could put on pre-servers, because it was basically just him hosting all the servers. It's possible you played on his servers. I don't remember much about him. I met him on Orange, I think. CP Orange. I wonder if he's still around. That was like 15 years ago. I forget like really basic things, but I can remember my friend on Steam 15 years ago. I did a screenshot. Oh, thanks. I'll actually have a look while I'm being distracted. I did a screenshot. 600 FPS with 32 chunks loaded. Nice. Hey! Yeah, this is nice. Procedural chunk system, ECS. Based. OpenGL, dynamic chunk loading, texture support, basic physics, and collision. This is exactly what I'd like to do one day. You don't in C#. That's really nice. Singular screenshot. Yeah, but I can see it and I can have an image of how it is. You just spawn like sand at a certain like Z or Y or whatever depth. I love this stuff, dude. Documentation as well. Nice work, bud. Okay, what I'm gonna do is when you right-click with the revolver, how does this make sense? I was thinking of attaching like a fan the hammer component, but that might be a bit tricky because you could always swap your weapon on the floor, and I don't think the weapon. Maybe it. There's a guy on YouTube making them in Rust and Vulkan. Oh, I've watched so many of them on YouTube. I wonder if I've even seen his. I guess weapon upgrades could be something that you hold on the weapon, like a component, but weirdly. Like how I store the weapon inside the inventory. And then that way, when you right-click the revolver, it could activate the fan the hammer component. So I might just always spawn the revolver in with the fan the hammer component. I could activate it when you use Alt Fire, and as long as it's activated, it will do some countdown to, based on the ammo count of your weapon, to fire at some determined interval, calculated interval. That could be fun, and yeah, I quite like that actually. Let's see how that would look. Because if you look in inventory, by the way, inventory holds onto weapons in an array. It'll be quite nice to move away from this checking if it's a dagger approach. So how about this? We can go back to using our beautiful friend, the variant. We can have struct fan the hammer struct dagger slash. I can't think of a better name, I'll be honest. What would you call this? Arced slash or something? Arced slash? Sounds fun. Scope. Yeah, there's a million of them. I genuinely love them, just because of the variety of how you see different developers doing it. What would you... attachment, maybe. Weapon alt fire, weapon special? Call it special, because I'm a RuneScape brained. I've been calling it alt fire, but call it special attack. Is this the syntax? Let me double check after I've written this. Oh, this isn't it? Components. What do I normally do? Oh no, that is right. Okay. I just might want to keep track of the count. It's usually handy to have. It's often useful to have. Okay, so the weapon can have a special attack applied to it as an STD optional. I can default to nothing. But now I could default set it based on weapon type, but then later it could be randomly attached or you know, so however I decide. So you, and you. I mean, they could all have scopes on them by default, that'd be funny. That's the job for now. Fan the Hammer's going to want like a timer on it of some kind, I think. Maybe cooldown between shots. I think this should be different to the weapon cooldown, just because that's quite a unique thing. Maybe? Because attack cooldown, it could also just be time. How do I want this to be? The idea would be if you normally shoot with a revolver every second, so it takes 6 seconds to use your shots. Let's say when you hit Fan the Hammer, it actually shoots every half a second. So you shoot them all in 3. So I guess, you know, because the way the countdown thing currently works is this, I I guess I could say if you're doing... Okay, let's pause that for a moment. We'll just leave this as nothing for now. I'm just going to refactor some things first to use this new special attack checker. So let's see. So weapon type dagger in alt fire. So we want, if alt fire trigger count is this, we want this, and is that right? Hang on a minute. This is reload handle reloading. Ah, here we go. Are you an Elsa? Are you just an if, right? Yeah. Weapon dot alt special attack. Let's be explicit and say has value. I know sometimes I don't use this, but in this case I appreciate the explicitness. So here we can do... Can I do switch or do I need to do STD visit, or... What did we normally do for this? We obviously STD visit in U. There was that new thing we added. There's also match. Because you are a donut variant. Yeah, if I use your variant, I could use match. I might do that. I think I've had enough. I've had enough of my... Yeah, I've had enough of it. It's just donut variant. I'd like to be explicit. Oh, you can't use variant size V. Do you have a variation of that? You should. How do I know how many... What's the same about with STD? Oh. There's donut. Variant size V. Okay. Let's try out your thing then. Because then visit had pretty nice syntax, right? Was not as match, right? Yeah. The match looks nice. Match is just like this. Okay. I'm immediately feeling happier about this. We want to match weapon dot special attack and deref that. And what were my types again? Be nice if there was a way to do this via switch, if only because then it would warn me when I've run out. But I guess match already does warn you, right? If you don't reference something you should. Like, sorry, if you add a new element to the variant and don't add a matcher for it, I'm pretty sure it throws an error, right? At least I hope so. Do I need to break? I don't think so. No, because these are all individual lambdas. It's not a switch statement. Okay. So we can put this in hot slash. We can put this in the revolver. It should be compile time error unless you have a catch-all that takes const auto. Oh, I don't want to do that, so that should be fine then. Okay. So this is a nice start. Where else am I checking? Is it a dagger? So when you're looking at the inventory and you're modifying where it is, I think that's okay for now. That's funny. I called it multi-shot. Oh, technically, fetch from components. Yeah. I could actually fetch this stuff from components. That's a really smart idea, me. Anyway, yeah, I do think like the ignited weapon, you might want to have that as a weapon component and not on like the player character, but we'll see. Whoa. I don't want the game to be like Apex, where you like hold tab and you have to like switch upgrades out of guns that you like. That's a pain in the ass. At that point, it might as well just be on the player character. Okay. Most of this stuff is actually fine for now. It's really just the alt fire stuff I wasn't super happy about. Obviously, spawn dagger spec is a little obvious. We could rename this to spawn arc slash. No, we can't. Rename failed to apply edits. Who cares? It's fine for now. You're what I care about. So, attack cooldown. I could use the special attack cooldown to handle how often. What's spec with specification? No, it's a pretty common RuneScape term. If someone says spec him out, it means you want to use the DDS on him. You want to spec him out, kill him with your special attack, which is normally like a high DPS thing. And then it takes like a minute or whatever to recharge. Half a minute, 3 minutes, I don't know. I guess I could delay. I could add the weapons, the bullets to be shot and somehow delay their shooting. Is that a mechanic I could add, or does that make any sense? Oh, I am doing more weapon type dagger. How am I stopping you from stabbing while you have a dagger? I guess you just set the attack cooldown really high. Yeah. Okay. So let's use my example. Let's say that we want to fire X number of shots. Magazine sight. Let's say you want to use up the rest of the magazine, or it's even weapon dot shots remaining. And let's say you want to shoot them twice as fast. I need to kind of think my way through this, so this will be a little... This will be a little incremental, so please be patient. Let's say it's going to take that long. That's like a, you know, small delay. Cap my game at 30. You can. There's a frame rate cap you can put on. In this case, I just want you to be like that. So now you can't attack for some period of time. What is alt fire cooldown currently used for? Stopping you from reloading. Fine. Animation playing the animation. That makes sense. Otherwise, it's not really being used. That's how often you can use the alt fire, actually. Hey Duke, nice to see you again. How are you doing, buddy? Yeah, you know what? I don't really think of a nice way to do this without just having it in its own components. Let's just do that. Let's make you not const. I want to really extract that shoot a bullet thing. That's this stuff, I guess. Attack trigger time. What? Maybe it's angry because shoot bullet doesn't exist. Whatever. Right, you're gonna need a lot of things in here. Entity start position. There's a lot of shit that's needed. Into position will be a transform. A lot of these should be consts, probably. Registry, probably not. There's a scammer on Discord. I can ban them. Oh, it's this person again. Ban. I hate when it doesn't delete their history. Yeah, I think I got them. Yeah, it's there was a bot like this the other day. Why does Discord not auto-delete, like, clear spam messages? Asshole. Yeah, if Mr. Beast DMs you saying that he's going to give you free money, click it, because it's real. No, I don't need to report the message. You're going to auto-ban them in about 2 minutes anyway, right? Why it didn't just nuke their history when it said it was going to delete the last hour, I don't know. I think I got all their messages. Insane that I had to manually do that. Yeah, I think I got it. There's a lot of Discord bots, yeah. Entity position. Oh, wait, hang on, you're a Vec 3, aren't you? You're a float. Weird to make this float a const, I'm gonna be real. And you, I guess it doesn't make a lot of sense. Maybe this doesn't need to be a copy either. Oh, you need to be a member function, don't you? Oh, there's so much shit that goes into firing a bullet. I am not using Rider in Unreal, no. I guess you can't be const. Basic angle. Float. Float. Why are you unsigned instead of size T? It should be a size 2. Weird. Hello. Yeah, this is a bit much. But it's better for now. I hope that makes sense. It looking like this shows that maybe there is more ways we can refactor this. But for now, we just need to be able to call it twice, so chucking it in any function is better than, well, not having it in a function, if that makes sense. Got to extract it to improve it, basically. Yeah. Gotta start somewhere. Can't let yourself get overwhelmed by, oh, I'm gonna have 50 parameters. Just write it with 50 parameters and then fix it once it's in place and working. Yeah, make it work, make it better later, exactly. Probably faster to just do this, isn't it? I just like typing. I have a nice keyboard. We'll probably even do this with a multi-line somehow. Why are you angry at me? Am I stupid? I equals 0. I is less than attack trigger count, which is a size T, plus I. You have to use option structs for stuff like this. Yes. I mean, this is what we do in other places. In, you'll have seen this, right? As we're doing spawn particle, or spawn explosion is a simple one we just did, right? Spawn explosion is actually this sort of metadata structure. Similar amount of code in the end, but it's a lot easier to pass around a spawn explosion. And in components, I just added a space. We've also got spawn particle emitter, which could be really annoying if it weren't for this little struct that we can pass around nicely. So I'll make something similar to this, but it's a bit late. Yeah, the field names is a big one. So we'll refactor like this in the future. I just need to go to bed soon, and I want to get this working now. So I will. Am I fucking insane? Does not take 15 arguments. Okay. Must have just missed something. Look at your claim before you go to bed. You can demand what you like. Oh, the second one you linked. Oh, this one's nice with the hills and the pause screen. And the wire mesh. And the lighting. Very nice. Java. Ooh. Nice. That's cool. Nice work, bud. Our weapon system was having a random engine pass in. Oh well. Alright, clearly I've added or removed a bracket somewhere I need it. What's the opposite of no, it's not expand selection. What's the other one? Contract? Collapse? Whatever. Fold? Oh, fold. This is odd. I'm stupid, this is an if. I'm so sorry. It's too late for this. It's nearly midnight, I guess. Working 9 to midnight. That's a song, right? Auto reload. Hmm. Oh, this guess could return ball. I don't really know how I feel about this. It'll do for now. We can fix this next time. Specifically doing it this way because I really like it to turn it on once. I don't want this to set auto relay to false, if that makes sense. I don't know that person art, no. Is it you? What's to limit the number of fold levels? Fold. Oh. Yeah. Nice. Alright. This doesn't need to be perfect, I just wanted it to work. So you can shoot your gun. If you right click, I'm pretty sure it just shoots the bullet once and then breaks. It does something, bloody hell. I guess it's using the same alt-fire stuff that the dagger's using. It's funny. Okay, it's not shooting. That's fine. I think I didn't make it shoot. That's alright. I have a feeling that it's doing this. The bit where it sticks out. That's fine. It's just doing something, and that's what matters. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay, perfect. And yeah, look, it's based on how many bullets you have left. So this is how long it would fan the hammer for. You see? How very funny. So if you only have one bullet left, this is like a really short little thing. Yeah, okay. It's clearly reusing the thing. Whatever, it means it's also calculating the time that it should be fanning correctly. I just need to obviously get the animation to work properly. And it to actually do something. But that's a job for next time. I'm going to stop for now. I hope you liked the stream. I'll probably be back tomorrow, if not Wednesday, you know, so on. Thanks for watching. Good night, chat. Bye-bye.